Hello and welcome to Team Fortress TV. This is the second stream, but there's no time for talk, Hildreth. And John is also on the camera as well. Just want to get the quick credits in. This is ETF2L Season 22, powered by Saloon.tf. This is Reason versus Serpents. This is our first map, Snakewater. How are you feeling, Hildreth?
I'm way too in a hurry to talk about that. We've already got the first mid going underway. We can see Reason gaming. Cadus has jumped up top actually. He's managed to separate Nesh from the rest of his team and trapped him in. 2 down for Serpents. You can see Stark is already chasing Death. So first mid actually goes to Reason, but Serpents got their medic out alive. Oh man, it's been hectic. TurboTabs a few delays with getting the Source TV info, but the game is still going.
Yeah, we just made it just through the door. If this was a train, we would have just narrowly made it, and we've just gone hot off the heels on the tracks. And now the captain's doing a forward bomb, trying to pick off Monty in that lower area. Has picked him off, and that is the medic down for
Death
Serpents.
with the sticker trap at the drop for Permzilla. It was a clever little sticker trap hidden on the health pack area. Nobody sees it and equalise straight away. Big plays from Death. We're going to get a stalemate, Turbo. We can actually talk about these teams a little bit.
I would have thought Permzilla would have snapped out of this. He did all of yesterday, and now he's doing it all over again. Well,
not really his fault if the team can't find it, but
speaking of these teams, I better quickly give a roster rundown while we do have things quieting down. We do actually have Monty over on Medic, Def on the Demoman, Forsaken on the Scout of all classes, I believe. Shadowburn is playing his ever-lovable soldier with his comrade Lippy, and Nesh is a newcomer into this, playing Scout with him as well. That will be the Serpents lineup, while over on the Reason side of things, can't talk quite now, Rising's just poking his head out, maybe I do have time to talk. Either way, Reason squad will be Permzilla on Medic, Captain on Pocket Soldier. You got Happy Core on that Scout alongside Starkey. You've got Cadus on Demoman and Rising on Soldier. Okay, well, I think we're all caught up, Hildreth.
Just for now, one of the things, as I actually watch Rising's trying to poke there, and gets picked by Forsaken, it'd be interesting to see if Serpents try and do anything off this. Shadowburn's just kind of looking. Poke it, that doesn't seem like he wants to commit. He might go for like a solo bomb or something. He's gone back. One of the things about Serpents I've found is, speaking to Lippy a bit pre-game, is they haven't decided really on their main medic. I mean, their roster's been going through massive shifts. Like we've seen Atomic and Shayu leave the team the other day, and they've decided to trust this newcomer Nesh on Scout, who's more well known for being a Highlander sniper, having played in the ETF2L Prem in Highlander, but big step up to Scout.
Do you know what nationality Nesh has come from?
He's Ukrainian, but well, he's German.
But he lives in Ukraine.
No, sorry, he's Ukrainian, but he lives in Germany. Got it the wrong way around. Lippy actually goes down to Stark, so this will probably cause Reason to push Turbo. Forsaken's actually traded a frag with Ryzen down on the lower, and Permzilla milked the Uber for so long, but Nesh has been sniped meanwhile by Starkey. This Uber exchange might not get much done for Reason. What do you think, Turbo?
I see Shadowburn bombing on Kado. He's taken him out, but Captain's going in for the counter bomb. He's right on top of Death now. He's very, very low though. He's trying to finish him off. Actually, Starkey cheekily coming around the corner with that sniper rifle, killing him off. And things that look like they're going to reset back, or are they? Captain goes down. He just caught out on that right hand side. Stark is looking for that pick somewhere in this low, long angle, but he's not going to find one. Everyone has gone underneath for the Serpent squad, and seeing if they can just poke out in the second, get some point presence. But you see Reason, they're nicely set up here. Oh, there goes the pick, but it's not from Starkey, it's actually from Forsaken, picking up the sniper rifle himself and taking out Cadus. But Starkey does respond with his own. He kills off Nesh. That is a lot of cap time for Serpents, delaying them ever so slightly, but not too slightly it seems. They've got the second point already, Hildreth.
Permzilla was separated since that snipe on Cadus. Permzilla was kind of left alone on the left, and he was just firing arrows into cheese for about 10 seconds. So without the heals, Reason, wisely in my opinion, decided to back off. They couldn't have won that fight without the heals. So they're going to hold middle for a bit. They may have been expecting the push in off that Permzilla being disconnected. They could have had a Uber advantage there, but it doesn't come as expected. So Forsaken on the sniper. He's already headshot Rising. This is where we could see something potentially interesting.
Yeah, it's very Forsaken has got Cadis. Yeah, he was just Monty has to use though because the pipe is right under his feet and there's no way he could run away in time. Does get forced out. Forsaken even throwing out a cheeky smile into chat. They're trying to make the best with what they've got though. Hildreth and Dev does take out Captain, but you see Happy Cool is taking out Lippy on that flank and he's come back and they've actually taken out Nesh somewhere. I don't know where he was standing, but now Shadowburn is opting to go back with that the conch, and now he's going back in. He's getting on right on top of Permzilla. Permzilla is forced to pop. It's a very nice force from Shadowburn, making really good use of that conch. Even.
I think they could have avoided that being forced there if they were a little bit more cautious, waited for all of their numbers, maybe reason. But it was in the end, it was well played by Shadow. He got exactly what he needed. I mean, the fight before that. I was going to say the flank of I didn't think there was a need for the Serpents players to go and sack there. I mean, their demo man was down, but to lose 2 people puts them under a lot of pressure. But instead, there's 50% advantage to Serpents. Who are actually pushing straight back out on this point. And I think they're going to take it without being forced to use. This is nice.
Yeah, they are edging it out, but Captain's trying to give them a reason to get off that point, at least for a second. He is forced back by Shadowburn's hand. Lippy does get picked up during all the chaos. Forsaken is still rocking that sniper, looking down on that right-hand side. Shadowburn is just gaining all this conch damage and conch build-up. He's probably going to be prepped to use it. Oh, Captain jumps in there, gets a nice little force onto Monty, and Monty just did not want to risk it. He knows the caliber of Captain, and he could get that air shot and completely pluck him out of the sky, and nobody wants to drop on stream, Hildreth.
That's true, nobody does. Forsaken...
except Permzilla.
Serpents are so scared of that Uber. Like, they were 4v6 there. I know Lippy are just on the respawn, but they had a sniper. Maybe they should have got forward a little bit more. Tried to force the Uber on middle. Instead, I can see Def doing the same sticky trap in the ammo pack that dropped Permzilla originally. Look how Reason are taking so long to push there. I mean, the spawns have come up, but 70% already for Monty. I think they're going to get this by the time they go.
Yeah, well, they've used the Uber now. Permzilla knocked down to half HP, forcing his hands. Lippy has been cleaned up yet again. He just seems to be dying all over and over again, that poor little roamer from the Serpent squad. Oh, a big bomb in by Ryzen. He gets on top of Monty, but doesn't manage to finish it off. They come in anyway, but carrying on that pressure that Ryzen dished out. The Uber's been popped out. Shadowburn is in a horrible place to try and make something happen. They've already backed out the rest of the Reason, and now even Captain has gone back to his medic, building up that Uber. They are sitting on a pretty 50% advantage, Hildreth.
Yeah, that was actually smart by Ryzen to choose to target Death, as they're actually going to conch out of this door, and really aggressive jump from Shadowburn, and Forsaken gets a like big damage, huge damage. Lippy coming in at the same time to support his teammate. 4 down, just 2 scouts, but you know, if any 2 scouts can get stuff done, it's Stark and Hafikul.
Oh no, Hafikul might have isolated Monty though. He's right on top of him. Can he land the shots? He's missing him. He can't get him. He's too slippery. He gets him! Hafikul, what a player, gets the medic when he really needed to make it happen. It seems Shadowburn not keeping touch of where his medic is. Sure, he's just, I guess, too busy celebrating that massive little kill streak he had there.
This game's been pretty crazy so far. Stark did a really good job. He just kind of went behind and drew a few players back to him, whilst Hafikul, he was the real threat coming in at the front. Before that conch, like, I didn't think they were going to push, but you know, to push when you're down, you 50% advantage. Use the speed of the conch to get through the choke point, and then just everyone following up Shadowburn's bomb. I think Reason were really caught by surprise from that play. It was brilliant from Serpents. If you've been looking at Team Fortress TV, I've literally just posted an article ranking them 7th in Europe at the moment, but they're playing better than that.
Oh wow, very nice bomb by Cadis on top of Shadowburn, completely blindsides him, and Forsaken gets cleaned up as well. Starkey even overextends for the Lippy kill and gets it, really biting as much as he can off of the Serpent squad, and now they're just clawing themselves all over this point before they've even capped the second point. They've got finally Monty down. He's forced the Uber off. You've responded in kind with their own Uber, but they have got a heavy to deal with in this. It's Snakewater, Hildreth. There's going to be all those respawn waves, and look at the kills follow. But Reason are doing a good job holding that line. Nesh is being focused. He finally gets taken out from the combination of Kada's suicide and Starkey killing him. But again, we've got another set of respawners, Hildreth. You see Dev clamming on top at that point, but there's just way too many numbers for him to deal with. Hildreth, it seems like the first round will go to Reason.
Ah, that was so close. I thought the respawns were going to come to Serpent's rescues. Just as I'm praising them, they're going to lose 3 people without popping the Uber. It's a big shame for Serpents. They were quite unlucky to lose that round. So, but you know, new mid, new chance to get back in the game.
And what a long round it was, sitting at about 11 minutes that round, and now we are on to our second middle. We'll see if Reason can do it all over again. You see Happy Goal going aggressive onto Lippy, completely crawling all over him, takes him down, and that's just set the trend for Serpents to get out. But Rising is taking as much room as he can take, and he has found his way into this window area. Captain's following up that soldier play as well as Cadus, and now Happy Call has got himself onto that second point. The rest of the Serpents are just trying to get out. Nesh is just covering up on this right hand side, just making sure there's no more further extension. Forsaken in the thick of it though, Web Dev takes out Cadus, and I think that's going to slow down the push or any sort of aggression from Reason.
You might even see a counter push from Serpent. I doubt it, but who knows? Lippy's kind of wandering underneath. It seems like Reason targeting Lippy a lot. Like I noticed with their Ubers, Lippy seems to be getting kind of caught too far in, and on that mid, you know, Haffical pushed him straight away, and he was supported instantly by Rising.
Yeah, seems to be no respect given to Lippy. They just think he's the probably the weakest link in that Serpent middle, and just get right on top of him. And if it keeps consistently working, maybe they might want to switch it up, identify the problem. But this is just the first of a 2-map series, Hildreth. I'm sure Lippy can pull himself together at least until next map, maybe even this map.
Yeah, I mean he hasn't done too badly, Lippy. Like who's so far. We're going to watch Reason just try to get into lobby. They found their place in lobby, but they still got to deal with this Forsaken sniper. Do you think they're going to do sacks?
Oh, nice little air shot from Lippy there.
They forced
telling
Uber.
me. Yeah, oh wow, yes, he did. I guess doing his job, Rising, whether or not he's being air shotted or not. And Happy Cool gets taken out by Def in that towards the tail end of that Uber, and they're just taking all this lobby space. But it's a bit of a delicate situation. Sure, Rising has gone down, but he's returning back very soon, and Happy Cool is going to be here in no time, being that speedy scout. Captain is just checking all the stickies, making sure the room is clear, and now you see them launching themselves in. They're ready to push him. They pop the Uber. Now they're just going to try and get on top of the players on this left hand side. They almost pick out Dev. Cadus does do it, but he loses his own life. Rising dishes out some damage onto the left hand side, and now you see the scout pressure onto the point, but you see Forsaken and Nesh coming back to deal with that scout, and they're just continually being pumped in back to healthy state by Monty, and it's just making the long fight go towards Serpent's favour. God, Snakewater Last is quite a beast to deal with, isn't it, Hildreth?
One of the hardest points to deal with. Stark doing a good job buying time for his medic to escape. Respawn waves coming in for Reason. They're definitely going to contest this. Good cap time put on with Serpents, but it looks like Serpents want to contest this as well. With that Uber advantage, they managed to catch Captain out. So for Unhathical, they should get Rising as well. 3 down for Reason. Good Uber, but they need to get onto Permzilla.
What is it about this last point, Hildreth? Is it Reason doing bad, or is it just the Russians doing really good?
Well, that particular last push, Cadus didn't. You're kind of right that he didn't really need to trade for death there into the spawn. But I guess they don't seem to be able to get any damage done in the Uber. Like they're not focusing the same players by the look of it, or working the cap point. I guess a little bit of bad focus calls is all I can put it down to so far.
Well, their middle game must be surely better than their last, because they've got that middle 4-3, and now they're pushing into second with an uber charge. Will they even pop it off? They might have to. Cadus is pulled down very low, but no, Permzilla knowing it's wiser just to keep just pull Cadus out of that fight and just be content with getting a 3-second. They do have the uber, but Monty has wasted so much time that now he has his own to defend with, and this pesky last push is going to probably be the bane of reason, and maybe they could just make another pushback.
Yeah, this time Nesh is going to be on the sniper, but I don't think it's going to matter. Like, Captain goes straight in and exchanges, jumps on the left side, and actually gets out lower in the end. So just an uber trade. They're seeing maybe they can bait something from Serpents. Shadowburn ends up coming in. He's got a lot of damage onto Permzilla, takes him down. 6 HP, but a couple of other players have gone down in the exchange. It's just Lippy and Nesh.
Oh, Rising is on last though. He's capping the last point, and they haven't got enough numbers to really deal with it. Oh, but Lippy, the hero, kills off him. But what his hero moment is going to be called off very shortly because the scouts just come in, clean up Lippy, and then just claim their 3 last point. I guess the conch is just not powerful enough, Hildreth, to make that second repush.
Yeah, they lost Forsaken as Shadowburn committed, so I think as soon as they got, like, they should have just left Shadowburn on his own, see if he could trade for the medic and then go back to last. Far too risky a push at this stage, but maybe they're just getting frustrated. They've been on their last the entire time. This time they tried to do something different. Lippy's gone behind in kitchen, and Def's already got the entry frag, and Lippy's now onto the combo, onto Permzilla, does manage to get him combo down, so it's going to be a desperate attempt to frag Monty here from the Reason players as they try to salvage his middle.
Oh, Captain is in though, he's on top of Monty, the easiest med kill of his life, and now he's trying to pick off Forsaken. He's just too fast for him though. Starkey is kind of pissing in the wind in this grass area, decides to back out, and Forsaken is hot on his tail, or is he? He's actually going to second instead, giving up on that Stark chase. And yeah, actually, where are the rest of the Serpents? They should be pushing second, maybe.
They're all dead. That's where they are.
Oh, right.
There's too many players down really to get a proper push onto second.
I guess they're just too low.
Inexperience from Nesh showing on that middle. He went to kitchen to try and duel Cadus. He ended up getting the frag, but no, Cadus was just a distraction.
Big soldier Flankerino right on top of Cadus and Rising, who was focusing on death on that right hand side but weren't looking towards the left. Lippy does go down though to some captain spam, and I guess this is the time they'll get this second point now. They even push out Happy Cool on this left hand side, so it's in the court for Serpents to make the comeback. We'll see what Reason can respond with on this last point. They're running the heavy so far, Hildreth.
Forsaken's going sniper. He's run all the way back to spawn off that Lippy respawn to change. No, he's gone spy actually. Wow, and Happy Cool's gone spy as well. Isn't the crit streak for Monty? It's all crazy, man. This is going to be interesting.
Yeah, but with Happy Cool temporarily go on spy, I think he checked what sort of metagun he was using. So now,
they know.
Yeah, they know they've got the crits to fear. So let's see how they will prepare for it.
They're not sure. Will they know about the spy though? That's the thing. They're expecting the crits, but are they expecting the spy?
Forsaken is putting on his best sniper impressions, went disguised as temporarily as a friendly sniper, now he's probably going to try and get in, but you see the door he wants to get in, Captain is blocking it with his big fat torso, and Forsaken is forced to just back out.
He's using the dead ringer as well, yeah. So wait, they have to have heard that. It's been allowed this season, I think for the first time.
How on earth are you going to get anything done if these players can hear an invisible watch go off Hildreth? Surely they can hear that dead ringer.
Unless they time it at the exact same time the toxic Brits on Reason are raging, then yeah, they're gonna hear it. They have to know. They have to know, and there you go. They have to know he's on dead ringer as well. He's just gonna go on the point.
He's gonna go on the point. How did they not hear this? He's taunted. He got like a quarter of it capped, but I don't think that's really enough.
How good would that have been if they timed that with the crits? Like 4 people suddenly like, what the fuck? There's someone up turning around and they crits in. Could have worked.
Well, maybe my tiny little Roma brain can't handle all this meta-breaking outrage coming out from Serpents. I think the more likely story there is he's probably just had a rousing game of pubs, and then when he came up as spy and then started to go out, he went, oh god, I haven't got the right watch.
I think that could have been a possibility. Like,
It's happened
or
to
he was
me.
just. That's probably more likely. I couldn't see how he could make the Dead Ringer work on this last. To me, it just like there's just not enough room to decloak and not be heard. It's not like a really big last where you can find somewhere to hide. And maybe like process you could probably get away with it, but this last just seems unlikely. So he's gonna go sniper, duel against Stark.
Oh, Def is very low though. He was almost picked off there by the soldier aggression from Reason. And guess we have got a very, very... Oh, there we go. There's the pick onto Starkey. Maybe that was the entry pick they're looking for. But then again, it's not the strongest pick you want. You want that medic pick. You want that demo man pick. Lippy's going in. He's making advantage of the fact that there's a scout down.
Oh, Permzilla!
And Forsaken has picked off Permzilla during all the chaos of Lippy. Is that another drop from the English medic? Yeah, again, they're conching in. They've got the crits out. This is going to be one difficult defense for Reason to handle, but they got Shadowburn already on top of the point, and they're doing it, Hildreth, they're doing it! The scouts have came out and they're completely minxing the entire team, whilst all the heavy classes are just punishing everyone who's trying to come through any other door. What a defense.
Huge plays by Cadus there on that. I have to give him so much praise for the way he just hid from that crit. I didn't exactly see what he did, but he kind of disappeared like an absent father, and then came back late to wreck your life. Big plays by him and Hafiko, plus the spawn wave coming in at the same time. No frags found without crits by Serpents, and that's kind of a turning point in the game. I feel like not winning the round from there might affect Serpents mentally. If they can bring it back from this position, I'll be surprised.
Yeah, while Permzilla is building up his Uber, what Monty is hot on his trail with his own. Forsaken is still rocking that sniper. He's been probably on the sniper longer than he's actually been on the scout class. Maybe he's just fallen out of flavour with that. It's not truly the force he was once before, and he's just trying to ruse us all with that little class change. And now Reason have popped off their Uber, and Captain goes in first. He picks up Monty. That's just the kill you want, Hildreth, if you're going for an Uber. And that's going to be a 3 mid and probably a 3 second just from the sheer heal advantage alone.
Yeah, well, Monty just getting caught in there. His positioning should have been a little bit better, to be fair, and that's just going to... Like, the heads of Serpents must be going down, like losing your medic to an Uber advantage. They're probably going to lose second as well. You can see, actually, they want to contest it. Lippy's there fighting on the point. The rest of his team are kind of
just
hidden in lobby. Stark was trying to flank from underneath. He finally gets taken out. But Lippy must be mad, wondering where the hell his team is. They're just too scared of this Uber.
Or maybe the team is wondering where Lippy is. It does seem like it didn't quite catch the memo of backing out there, and kind of gets caught out. I hear a conch going off, and I see Shadowburn is trying to get through a door, but Gadus is not making it easy. And he's just not. He's achieved absolutely nothing with this conch. It's just gonna like simmer out.
Yeah, they tried the same thing they did earlier. That was so successful. Forsaken's in behind. He's actually created double jump in 14 HP. And meanwhile, the Uber's in the left. They've caught 2 people in the spawn door. It's just Def alive on the right with Lippy, and Lippy does trade with Kada. That's pretty good, but I don't see Def holding this.
Yeah, and with Def going down, I think that's the final nail in this round's coffin. Is 3-0. It's looking to be like a whitewash for Reason. There's still 6 minutes left on the clock. It is mathematically possible, but I don't think it's logically possible. Hildreth.
Yeah, they're really up against it right now. They have to have a big mid-win here. You've got to imagine the atmosphere can't be very good. I think losing that round is going to hurt them. Considering they were so close to winning it. Let's see, one last chance to get something done. Maybe Lippy trying to bomb the balcony, dealt with pretty easily by Hafiko, but Forsaken plus forwards takes down Cadus, but I think that's all they're going to get done this middle. The numbers are in favour of Reason, but a couple of their players are really weak, like Permzilla and Captain going down to Nesh. It's going to be an even fight, actually, I think, towards the end of this. Nope, They're back out.
It seems the defense is just too strong for the Serpents to handle. They have lost the sheer numbers, and from numbers alone, Reason will pick up the middle, keep Permzilla alive, and then looking to push into second. You actually see... Oh, actually, I thought Captain was running Pyro for a second, but there he's just swapping and resupply. So He's going to be up lickety-split for his team. You actually see the Russians are the first one to go forward, and so they should. They are 3 points down, so they have to make the best of this time that they have. Firmzilla pops his Uber, but he drops Rising in that little foray. Shadowburn's kind of fluttering around Cadis, but the big back cap, it's all for the big back cap, Hildreth. It's even caught me off guard. I've only just tuned into it, but the Russians are right on top of it, much quicker than me, and Def actually clean up, Def and Forsaken clean up Starkey, excuse me. Cadis is caught in like no man's land. Everyone knows where he is, and he gets cleaned up, and I hear a conch go off. I don't know. Wow.
Shadowburn was trying to conch and saw, but he got spotted by Captain. That back cap will just buy more time for Reason. The exchange before, really early Uber from Monty, and then he gets caught out by the counter Uber. Way too far in. Popped way too early for his team to be able to get anything done. Even if he should have probably just risked the drop, because it was always going to be a losing situation when you Uber that early.
Well, Def brought down very low. Captain Spam has actually pushed him back to his medic to just top himself up again. Cadis is looking to peek on this grass side, but not quite finding the opening he wants. Happy Core is actually the forefront forerunner forward. Shadowbird tries to get force off. Permzilla hightails it out though, make sure he doesn't get popped easily. And Nesh is standing his ground on top. He's finally popped this Uber just to keep Captain and Cadis alive. And Forsaken's kind of caught underneath, and Lippy's actually cleaned up an aggressive Stark. Cadis has gone down just because he was brought down to way too low health, and he still continued to fight, but Happy Call is making it work. Captain is trying to back out with Permzilla and Rising, but Captain's just landing on every single surface known to man, and the Uber's just proving too strong for Reason to handle. Rising is trying to stand his ground somewhat, but between Lippy and Shadowburn, actually he's doing a very admirable job, just kind of keeping them fluttering back, but they will get that mid though, and Starkey's hiding, he's playing spy, he's on top of Monty, he gets the stab onto him. More hijinks, and 3 minutes left on the clock. I think this is well into dead time, Hildreth.
Yeah, Serpents just going to go, because they know it's pretty much over unless they win this fight by some miracle. Here we go, Lippy in on the medic, completely alone, eaten alive by the Reason players. I was just laughing in the push before. You can tell I think Reason are playing like they've won, because Kada's just jumped into a sticky on the floor by death on 70 HP and died, which was slightly amusing to me. But as a demo man, it was amusing.
Well,
nothing is. There's no laughing matter for Serpents right now.
Well, I'm sure they're just using this time to talk over what they should do for the next map. Maybe they can just, if they can't go for the win, perhaps they can just go for that golden cap, just pull away at least 1 point away in this ETF2L season. Cadis has Ubered in with Captain. Captain's completely bitch slapped Monty in the face. Shadowburn's trying to do his best, but Perbzilla, believe it or not, is keeping himself alive towards the end of the game, and now it's 4-0. Will the mercy rule kick in for Reason?
Just something about watching a demo man wielding an axe in spawn, it just makes me giggle. Turbo. I think for Serpents, really important not to get 5-0 here, because mentally that can really affect you, losing 5-0. So I think this is quite an important mid, just going into the second map.
Oh, it's the most important mid of our generation, Hildreth. Lippy is trying to get on top of the Reason squad, but they've just been pushed back by all the scouts, and now Cadis is walking off across the point like he hasn't got a care in the world. He's actually flanked around. Picked up Shadowburn. Monty's been killed by just a squirmy little Starkey, and now it's just poor little Nesh by himself. He has to go all the way back. Lippy has come back from the resupply. Forsaken's hanging about somewhere, but they've actually decided, oh yeah, we should probably capture the objective.
Squirmy little Starkey, that's a new one to add. So mid-win for Reason, I think we're 55 seconds, and I think we'll see Serpents probably just force Uber at this point and be able to defend and end 4-0. Now is surely going to be the time where you've got to do the post-map call-outs and praising.
Well, I could look at these last 40 seconds and go, oh wow, Def actually with a nice double sticky trap kill onto Rising Cadus, but then again, they don't have a care in the world, but who cares? Maybe Def can slap that onto a nice little YouTube VOD. It still counts, right?
It all counts, you know, in the stats at the end of the day. That's some more DPM to add to your logs.
Yeah, you can just point out to your team, it's like, come on team, I'm doing all the work here and you're not helping me one little bit. But really just baiting out your team. Rising actually getting the butter knife kill onto Def, so just slapping him in the face with the blunt end. I guess that's it. GG's have been called. It's 4-0 to Reason. No sign of weakness, apart from a few shaky last pushes. But I can figure him for that. You know, it's Snakewater last. It's very cool.
Yeah, it can be a hard point to push, and I think they actually dealt with it pretty well overall. Because the defense from Serpents was pretty good early on, like especially around second. Serpents had that one big moment, well, two big moments in the game where they kind of killed most of the Reason team and were 6v2, and then the scouts from Reason somehow managed to salvage it. That really helped them win that round. And then the fail push when you're 2-0 down onto last with crits and they're 3 up, and you somehow lose and get no frags with your crits. It's got to leave you sick in the mouth. Oh. Have you got these logs, Turbo?
Yeah, I've got these logs. You've painted a wonderful picture with your words, though, but let's look at the numbers as well as the letters, Hildreth. So the first thing I see, Hildreth, is, I guess, I feel like I'm trapped in 2008, maybe even 2009, because I see top damage demo men for Def and Cadus on this map. I guess they just had it was just a constant rush of damage, and plus the stalemates here and there makes a good for that spam.
Yeah, Lippy and Ryzen weren't having too huge an impact, but it is Snakewater, so it's not the easiest map to have an impact on as Roma, unless your name's Mike. Shadowburn seems to be doing the pocket roll. I wonder if it's more valuable if they would switch that around. Serpents, surely they'll know more than me. That's for sure. Just Stark, though. We have to highlight Stark.
Yes, I see Stark is sitting on with the most kills on the server, 25 kills. He's just constantly in the cracks and crevices of those choke points. He loves to get behind, being the first one through the door, and really abusing that scout cleanup as well. So he's sitting on probably the healthiest kill to death ratio. I don't see any other stats standing out towards me. I'm not sure about you, Hildreth.
Well, one thing I think is very interesting is Nesh 22 for 11, which is, statistically that's pretty good as a scout.
Yeah, that's very good.
But when you look at the damage numbers, it's definitely a case of being the cleanup player. You can see he's the lowest damaging player other than the medics on the server. So, I mean, some questions. The stats can't tell you too much, but I didn't feel like Nesh had a huge impact on the game. He wasn't like Stark, who you could see Stark was sort of getting behind, causing problems, getting on the medic, that sort of thing. Nesh just seems to be the trash man. I mean, the other big telling stat is definitely Monty's deaths compared to Permzilla's. It just tells you the story of the game, really.
Ooh, yeah, you can. There is quite a substantial difference, but give some credit to Monty. He isn't really a medic at heart. I think he plays scout most of the time, and I bet his friends over on Serpents just begged him to just come and play medic tonight. Oh, who knows? Maybe he is trialing. But either way, he's going to have a teething period.
Well, they are not sure who their medic is going to be. I can tell you that much. They've tried many different options. Just going on that performance, I know it's tough when you're playing in Prem against a team like Reason, but Monty didn't have the most impressive game, in my opinion. I didn't see, he got caught in by counter Ubers, popping too early, just a few things. I wasn't very impressed by his movement either. I know it sounds a bit harsh, but when you compare some medics, the way they dance around, you've been watching Miralin for years and years, you kind of expect something special when you're east of Poland.
Well, I suppose he has a long road to away, but it's a long season, Hildreth. He could probably still climb that ladder and make his way to Maryland glory. But so if Monty, you think, is not on the cards or written in the stars for Serpents, what do you think would be a better candidate for them?
Well, it's really hard to say because the Russian teams have always been kind of funny in how they set themselves up. This is obviously a sort of hybrid 425 team with Dicker gone. It's really hard to just find a natural replacement.
What happened to Dicker?
I'm not 100% sure, to be honest. I think he may have gone into the lower divs off class.
Oh, right.
But I couldn't tell you without going on to the ETF2L.
The classic medical rage where you're just sick of, just constantly being the blame or the reason for losing certain games. Just it's a thankless role, so eventually medics sometimes deviate into those lower divs, start playing all these supposed fun classes, quotes.
Yeah, I decided to just go on C2, he doesn't seem very active. He's not playing this season by the look of it, Dicker, but he's a very good medic. It feels like they're missing someone in that spot, because if you look at their team, there's enough talent.
What about if they pull an old name from the hat? I mean, where's Whiteglow these days?
Whiteglow, again, I couldn't tell you. I don't think I've seen him around for a while. Maybe him and GDK will make a comeback again.
I actually did see they added GDK recently to the roster. I was kind of thinking, I wonder if they'll be using him at all. But no, it seems they're still using Def, so maybe they're just teasing everybody, particularly me, because I do love a good GDK game.
GDK with a constant crit screen. I can't believe that used to work. That's all I could say about that experience. Yeah, I'm not sure about the medics. We'll have to give Monty a chance, really, on this second map, because it is really difficult to come in and play a team like Reason. When I was looking at some of the pre-game statistics, like the warm-up for Serpents, I saw them lose 5-0, at least according to logs, to Lego. So they don't seem to be having a good day either. Of course, I could be completely wrong, and I might get slated by Russians in the stream.
Well, we have been picking on Monty maybe a little too much. Do you think it's not the case? Do you think it's actually his team letting down poor little Monty? I mean, because you're just a poor, fragile medic at the end of it, and you need that team support behind you.
It's true. You don't certainly need to be the best medic in the world to play in Prem, but there's certain things you kind of have to do well. That like players like Koss or who milk Ubers a lot can give you a big advantage. But we're onto the second map now. Turbo, do you want to take me to mid?
Alright, if you're just joining us, this is ETF2L Season 22, powered by Saloon.tf. This is our second map, Gully Wash. Reason on match point for the full 6 Smackaroons. They're playing against Serpents, and the first thing I see on mid is Lippy taking up that little high tower, then Captain making a kind of jump forward, but he actually backs out from lower, tries to reconnect to his medic, and still no frags on the board on this middle. This is probably one of the more passive Gully Washes I've seen in my lifetime. Forsaken has actually decided to go behind. Reason's still sitting on their half of the map. No team dares go forwards except Rising, and Rising is punished for it. It's just too much tension, and he was finally stricken down by that tension-filled knife, and Captain's going to be picked up as well now. He's very low, he's dodging to his best ability. Starkey's though is coming behind, he's trying to get on top of Monty, even finishing off possibly Shadowburn. No, he just survives on about 50 HP.
I was watching out mid earlier, I was watching Cadus, and I was thinking, wow, he's 260 HP, he's completely untouched by anyone. He's going to get a lot done. He did a bit of damage, but you're talking about lack of aggression. Both teams set up kind of defensively, and neither Rome are really committed to anything, so Serpents will just play in the same sort of mid I think we've seen Reason do, just setting up really defensively, waiting for the damage and their opportunity to come in, and I think they played it really well in the end, just get that advantage and then be aggressive, and they dealt with anything Reason could throw at them. Good mid.
Do you think it shouldn't have been down to Rising to be the first one to jump forward? Would you have just waited it?
There wasn't too much damage coming in either from anywhere. Caden had a bit of an opportunity to get a lot done, but when his ammo ran out, and he hadn't, he was really up for somebody else to do stuff. Stark tried to go behind to salvage it, but by then the mid was over, and Rising actually managed to get a good frag onto Forsaken, but is that just the cue for him to go sniper?
I'd love to see him go spy. Usually if you get these sort of pick plays, you can, you know the push isn't going to come in anytime soon, so maybe you actually have that time to go on to spy, and that would be a treat. Maybe get that old, the old replay of Dunk going down in that water.
Good old Dunk.
Well, but they are sticking with the Pyro, with the Engineer, with the Heavy. You must feel right at home, Hildreth.
Well, in a way I am, but this is way too many off classes for my liking. I have played Sixes longer than Highlander, you know. And, yeah, Captain wisely going back to Soldier. If you have that many off classes and you don't switch it up, they can easily just get more damage done and have more mobility during the after Uber fight. They could have recognised that. I mean, a Sentry and a Pyro is a really defensive posture, like no scouts at all. They're really just, I think they're just looking to deny the suicides. Really, like, you know, Serpents don't want to go anywhere near Uber exchanging against this, but at the same time they don't have much to fear, because it's unlikely they can push out Reason unless they get a massive drop or something.
Well, they've picked up Forsaken, but Happy Cool's still on Pyro, so they can't really efficiently just go forward with it. Rising does go for the obligatory Amaroma, and I've just got a pick. I might as well go for the bomb sort of play. But, you know, I guess they could potentially just
Forsaken.
Push this out for ages. Yeah.
Pyro, this could be a strat that I've not seen for a while. He could get spotted. I think has he been spotted? I don't know about this. I think he's going to go water, and they're just going to Uber him on water and just push people away or use him as a distraction. He's definitely been seen now. They know there's a Pyro, and they've gone water. This is going to be very interesting, Turbo.
Well, they've dealt with the sentry gun, and Def is on top of the point. They're just grinding on top of each other there, and Captain's going to have the better Uber because he's got all of it on a single massive Uber onto himself, and you do see a few rush skis trying to get through these cracks on the other side of things, but it's too hard of a defense, Hildreth.
Yeah, I was Monty's going to get chased down by Stark, surely, yeah. I was just thinking for a second, this could work when they got Cadus, because Forsaken, they kind of scared them onto the point a little bit, but the scouts from Reason were just, they play that so smart. Stark pushing out, combining with, I think it was Rising. They managed to kill some of the other players that weren't in the Uber fight. They got a lot done, so big plays by them. They actually get out of last off the back of a really good defense.
Well, it is the tough pill to swallow when, you know, someone is not going to come out of that base. You just have to make that push eventually. You're just wasting the clock, but I don't know, maybe wasting the clock is something they want to look into. Maybe a 0-0 would be good enough for the Russians.
It'd be a good result for them. And wow, Cadus has jumped in. He's wanting support from his team. All he's got is a trade with Shadowburn, but Serpents are backed off inside. Goodbye Forsaken, he gets jumped by Captain. Monty again back on last with 90%, so he should get Uber in time, but 2 down.
Well, I'm expecting a bomb from Reason or something. Starkey's actually the one that's poking his head through. The Reason soldiers look through for a second as well on that top right hand side, but they don't decide to go for it. They're just waiting in lobby for now, waiting for Cadus to come back up with them, rejoin them, buff everybody up, you know, check their pack launchers, make sure they're all prepped and ready.
Forsaken Spy, looking at him going, oh.
The face stab, it fails, and he's been completely destroyed into a whole new stratosphere. Forsaken, yeah, they've actually tried to Uber him from the side whilst they're distracted, but the counter Uber comes out from Reason. The actual reflect onto Cadus. He's not going to be pleased. No one likes to be reflect killed. And now there's actually point pressure from Rising. Nobody's been paying attention. They all flutter towards the point. Rising goes into the water. That conch is wasted for now. Rising is still alive, and Reason are trying to get in, but the respawn is are coming up slowly for the Russians, and I think it's going to be a successful defense, Hildreth.
Yeah, Forsaken spawning was just brilliant timing for Serpents, because there were low health players kind of run into spawn, and you know, after watching Stark and Happy they wanted to go forward and frag them, but then full health Forsaken pops up and they fought again. It does look like Ryzen's time, but I think he just rejoined it straight away, so they're not going to pause.
I smell a spy, Hildreth, and it's Nesh.
Another one?
Yeah, he's waiting in this lobby area with the cloak and dagger.
It's not going to work. Permzilla's been Highlander longer than me. Well, maybe not as long as me, but you know, he knows that there's a spy.
Nobody expects the spy in sixes. It's such a rarity. We'll see what he can get done. He's uncloaked, and he's uncloaked at probably the worst moment. Permzilla took 1 step forwards and 2 steps back and completely sidestep any possibility of a backstab. Nesh goes down. Def is brought very low. Captain's going in with it. He could probably pick off Def there. He just flew 1 single rocket towards him. It wasn't really well micromanaged by Monty to keep him alive. It was very risky there, but either way, they've got the pick onto Shadowburn. I guess that's maybe a time to re-push in, but Forsaken has gone up as heavy, so it's going to make a very difficult last push. We'll see Ryzen going into the water, sneaking onto the point. They've already got stickies on there as well, but Def has got that play all well and ridden, but recently Rising, better yet, he actually gets a slight time onto the point. Lippy is now finally dealing with him. Will Def and Shadowburn turn around and kill him off? Yes, they do. That is them taken out. They've even cleaned up a few more players as well on that to Riverside.
Yeah, it was good defense. Like Def being really smart, making sure he was the one blocking the point, but Cadus also smart, backs up.
Oh, Nesh,
that
he's in!
push.
He's on top of Permzilla, but he doesn't drop this time, not today, because he hasn't even, for 1, he hasn't got an Uber, and for 2, he just doesn't die.
Yeah, now 2 down. They do have full Uber to salvage, but Reason ain't going to play scared. They're going to try and make them use here. Pressure coming in from Cadus and Ryzen with a double suicide. Monty forced to use 2 down. I think they're going to try and use this to get second or get a force or a med kill.
Forsaken's in. He was right on top of Captain. Sorry to cut you off there, Hildreth. And Permzilla's trying to bat him away with the Uber Sword. Finally, backup arrives, but not in time. Forsaken gets the final pistol shot into him, lays him down onto the floor with his own little percentage of Uber. Monty is in the thick of it though, so that it's all for naught. And they've actually lost a player. Reason they've got disconnected, and there's no pause. Hildreth, what disrespect coming out from Reason.
I don't even know. They haven't asked for it. Like, that's the thing. Serpents, yeah, they don't mind playing 6v5.
We're confident with the 5v6.
Like, at some points they will probably ask for it. No, he's back. It's quite like they know they're holding them on their last, so they're not too worried about losing the extra player. They feel like Serpents can't push out, and Serpents kind of displayed that. Even though they got the med kill, they couldn't protect their medic. They pushed way too slow. They didn't get any cap time on the second points. They just couldn't capture that point. They're back on last. Permzilla and Monty equal Ubers. So it is 0-0 though. That's something you can salvage for Serpents. They haven't been broken yet.
Yeah, they're parking the bus in probably and taking their sweet time with it, checking all the mirrors, checking all the seatbelts, going as slowly as possible. There's absolutely nothing going on. I'm trying to find something to talk about, Hildreth. Let's talk about that push from earlier when Monty was forced out. I think they could have had oh, actually no time to talk now. The captain is finally making something happen, and he's jumped in with the Uber, forced out Monty, and they're just going to back off and they get out completely unscathed. Starkey's running the heavy weapons guy.
Yeah, looks like that's their plan, is to repush with their heavy, but Stark just kind of like ran in, couldn't find an opportunity.
Is that the warning call though? But Cadus actually picks off Shadowburn, so there's the the death whistle. Happy Call is poking himself into water, setting up for this presence onto the last point. Forsaken is trying to stop him from doing that though, but Happy Call has completely destroyed him, and the captain's trying to get on top of the point, but Nesh is stopping him from doing that. Nesh finally gets on, climbing on top of the point to stop Happy Call capping that out, but Cadus just gets on it as well. It's just a good old-fashioned trading card game, and they have more cards than the Russians could handle.
Oh, that was a crazy fight. It was scrappy and everything. Hafiko winning that 1v1 was so key in water. It just drew everyone to be scared of the point. Like Nesh had to drop down and Cadus' stickies. In the end, Cadus just, you know, saw the point was free, went there with stickies, forced everyone in and killed them. So it's been a long round, but into a new mid fight. Let's see if Serpents can deal with this as well as they did last time. I think Ryzen's going up behind them and drop down. Instantly spotted. He's forced everybody from Serpents back into choke.
And they've got a lot of cat time on this point, without a single soul being dropped. Forsaken is caught behind, so he might be as well good as dead.
Away.
Nobody's even concentrating
aware
on
of him. I think they were aware of him because he just kind of pistoled them from long range and gave his position away.
Well, they give Starkey a buff and they've launched him back. Forsaken is just being so annoying, and Stark's like, no, I'm not even giving you the time of day. They actually have hold close and kind of shunted this bush. Forsaken is still behind though. They sent a search squad out. Starkey's gone round, he's finally spotted him. The 1v1 commences, MGE fight, and Forsaken is trading out kills. He's got on top of the locker, he's dodging about. It's just a panic room for him. He's gone to pick up the health kit from last, and again he's still being annoying, and they've still got to deal with the Russians from here. They've actually popped off their Ubers from the choke area, but Captain's holding on to his own little Uber and he's batting them off. Monty's dropped down, he's in no man's land, he's been piped down. Def is trying to come back into the fight as with Shadowburn. Lippy's in there as well, cleans up Permzilla, cleans up Cadus, so it's pretty good for the Russians, all considering. And Captain cleaning up Def on that choke area. So Hafiko comes down around and blindsights Shadowburn. That is a 2.2 reason. Could have been better, could have been worse.
Oh, that was a terrible push from Serpents. Like, Monty just got juggled into the drop down. Ryzen's in, he's looking for that Monty kill. Oh, what a shot from Forsaken in the spawn. He managed to body shot Ryzen, and Ryzen just got pull off his last rocket and missed it. Incredible save from Forsaken on Sniper. You don't see that very often, but I was just saying before, he got juggled into the drop down Monty and disconnected from everyone, and like from there it was just dire straights to him. He ended up dying, but Lippy really salvaged it with, like, he managed to find a frag onto Permzilla, who's disconnected from his pocket as well. So kind of same position again for Serpents, but at least they don't have a huge Uber disadvantage.
Yeah, a nice little crisp rocket onto Captain, who was just hanging about in that lobby there. Oh, and the body shot onto Starkey, peeking around that riverside corner. And now Lippy is trying to fight up against Rising. He's brought down really, really low though. Happycore has been launched out of second, sent back, picking up all the health kits he can so he can rejoin the fight. Cadus is still linked up with Permzilla, playing that good old-fashioned demo man pocket roll from yesteryear, and he's being awfully pressured there. The Uber comes out, Monty has gone down to the Kado
drop.
Was it an actual drop? Yeah, I guess he just dropped down and didn't expect the Cadus stickies to be there. Gets taken out, and it's a free Uber for Permzilla. He's going to be building that up. You can see already it has a 30% recharge already on top of Monty. They've taken out the sentry gun. They're plucking them at the scene.
Stocks on the point.
Yep, he's on the point. He's got a lot of cap time. Everyone has flooded to that point, but they haven't got the players to support him. It was just see if he could just get it, and it was a good attempt by the English scout.
Well, he saw the opportunity and went for it, but you know, 3 down for a reason. Like that. Many.
Cadus, he's gone down. He's gone down in that big door. Sorry to cut you off. And Permzilla and Rising and Captain are trying to block off this point. Keep them from doing that. I think Starkey might want to get behind. Actually, no, he's relinked with his team, and now they popped off the Uber. He committed it to make sure they keep it well defended. Shadowburn has finally gone down to that Uber, but it was expected. It is invulnerability after all. Starkey cleans up Nesh on that on the top area on second. Lippy, and nobody's paying attention to Rising, who's just completely jumped past Lippy. And that's the second round.
What can he do? He's 1 versus 5. They completely trashed that push. They didn't show enough trust for Lippy on last. Like, Hafiko ran lower to last, and like they dragged 2 more people that pushed out to second back to help Lippy out when Lippy was on last. I can understand doing that.
What?
Wow.
Cadus with the fastest frantic jumps from the Demoman, just completely gets in there. I've just literally turned up my camera to middle and he's already there. He was on top of Def and he killed him before he could pick the health back up, steals it under his nose, and like that, they're already on second. That is probably one of the quickest mid I've ever seen, Hildreth.
Did he pick up the health pack? I mean, there's a fight going on in the yard, but that's crazy.
Yeah, he like killed off Def when he was like trying to pick up the health pack.
Oh, it was a long-range sticky from Big Door, was it?
No, I think he was in there. He was there. He was standing there. He could have high-fived Def before he killed him.
That's crazy play from him. He always finds a new way to just be faster than you to middle. It's really annoying, you know, after a while.
Might be hitting the STV later, looking at that, doing my homework, seeing how he did it. The little magician, Kado, Shadowburn, kind of pressuring this top side. Cadus is keeping these doors well covered though. I hear a conch go off though, and Shadowburn, the one-man army, is right on top of Permzilla. Permzilla has popped it off wisely, and he's trying to just keep all his teammates alive, but Shadowburn is buffed. He's set to Terminator mode, and he's seeing what kills he can pick up, and he's just collectively pushed Reason out of this choke area. Stark has picked someone up in that long sight line from the big door area. Captain is going back in, and Shadowburn doesn't have that Terminator-like quality anymore. It's been completely glistened off, and now that's the entire Rusky team cleaned up. It's just Monty alive, shooting those hopeful crossbows, but I think they're going to even pick up last here.
Monty missed the buff out of spawn. That's going to hurt the chances of defending this. Shadowburn onto the point. Monty firing arrows wildly. Yeah, like even there, like he had the arrows out and just missed the crit buff onto Shadowburn. I mean, that could be so huge in a situation where its margins are going to win you there. And then a Reason running away with it again. Like this is kind of a carbon copy of the first
well,
map.
look, Cadus is doing it again. Look, see, he's there. He's already waiting. He's like, let's set up a little mini base. He's going to fight for... Oh, wait, no, he's actually gone further behind. Heavy espionage from Cadus, getting all the way into the thick of it, behind them in their own base. Maybe they expect to win this mid 5v6, and then Cadus is already having a party. He just jumps back in. Now he's on top of Monty. Completely gets minced. Finally punished for his ridiculous play and his ridiculous clowny antics.
It kind of cost the middle that time, but I kind of thought, is he treating this like a double mix?
Yeah,
jumping behind them. It's put his team on the back foot here, but they have Permzilla on last with Uber, so they should be very confident they can hold this. They're 3-0 up, showboat a little, who knows.
I'm looking for Stark. He's on the spy, and he's stabbed, briefly stabbed Def there, trying to go for the backstab, but does get found out. So he's sent to the respawn queue. They're still sitting on that 100% Uber. I don't think they want to push on just one mere scout. Or maybe they do. Shadowburn's gone in, but he's brought down very low. I don't think he'll have enough for Uber to really sustain the fight. They've got some point pressure in the form of Nesh. He even manages to get out. So slippery. Def has gone underneath now. No eyes on that point. Setting up Sticky's already on it. He's on top of it. He's killed off a scout. He's killed off a soldier. A round finally goes towards the Russians. It is 3-1 still to Reason, but maybe a sign of life coming out of the Russians.
Well, I'm going to watch Cadus. I don't want to miss this right. That was really well played by Def, by the way, that round. Great cap. Cadus, oh, he just went left side. How boring. How boring is this guy? But he's done a decent job, picked some damage down. Forsaken goes down early. A big jump up by Ryzen. He gets peppered in the air, but he's supported by Captain with a counter bomb. Cadus crossing the point, kills Def. There's a big flank in by Happy Call at the same time. Dominant middle. Now, see what happens when they try.
They haven't got out in time though. Monty's in a horrible position. Oh, he's been slammed down like a basketball. No chance of being dunked today. Shadowburn is even caught in the fray as well. He's trying to get some damage onto Cadus, but completely gets taken out by the entire team of Reason. What a horrible place to be as a medic on second Hildreth.
Yeah, that's just kind of a statement from Reason, kind of through the last round a little bit. But then they suddenly decided to turn up 100% serious that round. But wow, this Uber's not gone very well so far. One person down already, lots of damage done by that Pyro with a reflect. Lippy! The rockets. This is going to be huge. Maybe Cadus trying to salvage this. He does hit some shots, but it is a full wipe. There was one reflect rocket, like, and Permzilla didn't Like, it's too many people in the Uber and too much damage done.
Yeah, I think there was about 4, maybe even 5 people during that Uber, and you could see why people don't do that in this top level TF2, as there was just too much to deal with. And once the Uber faded out, they were all standing on the exact same square, and Lippy just got some really easy damage onto him, picking up I think the 5k there on that last point. A very nice little spree for the Russian soldier. Actually, the Ukrainian soldier, I should say. Sorry, I keep bunching them all together. I'm a filthy little racist, Hildreth.
Yeah, you can't help it, you're from Britain. As this is actually a really good key moment in the game. Serpents have a really good chance to get back into the game. I don't think they're going to get this Uber advantage. Stark tried to make something happen behind. Forced in the lobby by Cadus, playing the Roma demo role at the moment. The early force, even though they've lost the demo, it shouldn't cost them too much because they have got that force, but they do have a man advantage now coming into this last push until Nesh dies.
Well, so things are going to go quiet again. We're going to calm our nerves and maybe slow down this game just a little bit, but no, none of that, at least not from the Reason soldiers. They're trying to push into this lobby area. There's absolutely nothing done so far though. Stark is but he's made something out of nothing. He cleans up death from his own damage alone.
Yeah, but there's the question for Reason. You're 3-1 up. You thought you'd have the game dead by now, but you've suddenly lost a round. There's 7 minutes left on the clock. Do you push? And it does look like the answer to that question is yes. I mean, even though they don't have Uber, too much respect by Serpents, I think, to just give them that point. Like, even though they're down a demo man, I feel like they've got to like at least try and contest, spam them as they come through the doors or something. But instead they're going to have to break a second hold.
Yeah, Forsaken, by talking to Forsaken beyond the grave, almost Jedi style, going like, Hughes the Scout, Forsaken, and channel in your gully wash power. Maybe you can recreate what Byte did not so long ago, but I've got the veteran himself that made that happen, Cadus. So whether or not that's to be seen.
Pretty sure Forsaken was a soldier in the days of Byte, when he was on Byte's team, but you know, they could do with some sort of angry main caller, sort of trying to get them motivated to push quickly, because that's what Byte was really good at back in the day. Just sort of stay and still make them choke. Could
you imagine though? It'd just be like, Nash, come on, Nash. Okay, well, they've Ubered in. Yeah, they've Ubered in from choke,
Terrible.
but they haven't even flinched. Reason they've just laughed at that Uber as they awkwardly back out, embarrassed. Forsaken is kind of hiding himself. He's providing some cover for Nesh, who's looking at this riverhand side, trying to show off that Highlander style, I guess.
Oh, good play on the flank. While Ryzen just about taking up Forsaken. Are they going for the rotate? This is a Byte strat if I've ever seen one. Turbo, they've gone for death on the back cap with Pain Train. He's got to contest 2 people by himself. The entire Reason team's brought back. Death will die. They will go 3 down, but yeah, desperation. The classic big door rotate from when the other team pushes middle with Uber advantage. And I think we're going to see someone drop up, drop down. Are they going to catch Monty here? Maybe not.
Well, they've got the kills. They need to turn these into wipes. They need to think big, Hildreth, because if they're going to have any chance of even drawing this, they need to start going right now. And that's what they're doing. Lippy's gone in. He's provided a huge force, but Rising has provided a huge force himself. He's forced out the Uber from Monty, and now they needed that to push into last, keep this snowball going, and I guess they don't need it. They've just killed Captain, they've killed Happy, because Starkey does shoot down Lippy though, cause a slight little hairline fracture into the mix of things, but Shadowbird's on top of it. He's got his conch out, he's spamming around, they've got the point. Can they do it, Hildreth? Are you a believer?
I'm starting to believe in Russia. You know, this is was looking. I don't know, no World War II jokes, not tonight, I promise. But it was looking bad for a while. But that was a catastrophe from Reason pushing into middle, just losing players, overextending, and Cadus has gone up top left. He's actually down really weak. He's 16 HP. He's going to die to Forsaken, and Stark's gone down as well. And Permzilla is 4 HP. He dies. Wow, this is medic down. This is looking really good for Serpents. Can anyone salvage anything for Reason?
the Russians, they can taste it, but they need to keep in mind someone needs to cap that point.
Ryzen's
Someone
underneath.
still needs to do the boring pencil pushing. Lippy's on the hunt. He wants captain. He's gonna get captain. Oh, actually, it's Def who's gonna get captain. And during all that, Rising's behind, blocking that midpoint, and it's just completely shunted their push, their momentum. It does clip. Oh, actually, he gets a kill onto Shadowburn. Again, more time wasted by Reason. And I guess at this point, that's all you can do. You've got two options. Not only can you win Hildreth, you can just waste time.
Yeah, that was really smart by Ryzen to get that block and trade. Shadowburn did a good job blocking him, but you know, I think Reason have just fallen straight back to last. They've missed a trick there. They could have perhaps put some presence on second. Instead, they're just going to build the hell out of this Uber and hope that that Serpents take forever to push. And Serpents seem to think they are. Serpents are playing like they don't have advantage anymore.
Dispenser down. Team push, and so the push they have, they've Ubered in the scout, they've Ubered in the soldier, the counter pop comes out, Cadis is going aggressive, he's trying to get in the thick of it, he's body blocking Monty, trying to land the pipes, but he can't do it because he does a cannonball instead and doesn't quite get the kills. It seems they came out quite unscathed in that. They have got 2 minutes left on the clock. They can do this, Hildreth. They have their backs to the wall.
Not die? How does Monty not die there? I mean, maybe somebody else should have come into that Uber to help the demo man out.
I can tell you why he didn't die, Hildreth. It's that cannonball. It's not good at close range. You only get a few shots, one opportunity. Will you grab it or will you let him, slip?
I mean,
yeah,
I can see your point, but at the end of the day, with 1 minute 40 left on the clock, they've made the right choice by staying alive here. Reason Dispenser not last.
Dispenser down. Yes, again, this poor little Dispenser is just completely farming the points, maybe distracting Def from the main prize. They've got a minute left, and there was a slight stutter there. Def is kind of reaching in from his stickies. He's tried to launch towards point, but they should have suspected that sentry gun would be covering that point. Def is trying to go underwater, putting on his best submarine impression. Kada's kind of cut off his only little entrance. He's just decided to jump out. If he can't walk out, he's going to jump out. He takes out the Dispenser yet again. Is Stocky going to build another one? No, actually, he's just sitting about for now. Kate is still holding on to this Riverside, and Shadowburn's gone in. He's taken out Permzilla. That's a huge pick. I'm not paying attention, Hildreth.
Me neither. I'm kind of lagging, but this is really their opportunity. The team's going to crash for me. Go to.
Oh god, they've Ubered in. They've got on top of the point, but they've completely been minced by Reason. They've cleaned him up. They've just looked at the stickies of Cadis, and they didn't know what to do with the rest of the Uber. There was no one to shoot at, and then Reason spring from their little traps and hidey holes and crevices and cracks, and finally completely demolish Serpents. That was their name.
It's going to be such a heartbreak as I'm actually back in the game.
Oh, it's 13 seconds.
Such a chance to tie it up and get into the golden cap round. Serpents, they look dead and out for most of this game, but the last 10 minutes, just massive resurgence. They've got to take pride from how they played in the second half of that game. Reason were right on the backed up in that parking space.
Well. We've seen how it all looks, Hildreth, but do you know how it all adds up? Let's look at the log.
Yeah, let's see some logs. I want to go for some logs. I mean, I expect Reason to be dominant statistically because they kind of dominated the 2/3 of the map.
Well,
but there's got to be some big performances. I think someone like Forsaken and Shadowburn had particularly good games.
Well, you can, looking straight at the stat that everyone loves to talk about, the damage stat, it's actually Shadowburn with that conch really high-tailing up there, but he is shortly followed by Captain himself, who don't need no stinking conch. So, but then Cadis and Rising, you can see Rising is really putting in, I guess, the sheer, presence, his legendary, name and I guess potential he has in the team, sitting on almost 2k ahead of Lippy there. I guess maybe that's just how it is if you're the winning team.
Well, Rising got a lot of kills there in that game. Had a really good game. Rising really effective on middles at times. I mean, Shadowburn's the standout player, but overall Reason were pretty dominant. Like when they were 3-0 up, like you were thinking, yeah, this is over. Like even Kalis was kind of like jumping behind them and doing all sorts of stuff, and then Serpents just got around off of that, and then they found some momentum and got it back to 3-2. But again, it's just those little missed opportunities they have that just stop them from getting anything out of this game. Individually, you know, it can't be too displeased. There's a couple of Reason players are a little bit stronger in certain positions, but as a team, Reason are just much better.
What an analytical way of doing things. They are the much better team, yes. Well, should we see if we can get the should we see if we can get those better those better players, those better teams in for an interview?
Sure, I'm down.
As per tradition in our ETF2L coverage. Okay, let's see if we can reach towards them. Just seeing if I can. Hopefully they'll answer my plea. But we are on the second stream. Maybe they just don't want to feel the, I guess, the straight to DVD quality of that we're giving here. But it doesn't mean we're half as bad. Oh no, it's just don't have we're just not as active, I suppose, as the primary stream. Still, if we can get them in here, though, that'll be grand.
It's the big name Sideshow and Mike, you know, dragging in the viewers. What can you do? What can you do against names like that, Turbo?
I wish I had a shiny subscriber button. I'm trying to find somebody, but nobody's catching my bait, Hildreth. They just seem like they want to pick up their paycheck and just be done with it.
Maybe just too cool for interviews. What can be said? For Reason, you know, that's 2 wins out of 2. And they've done their job against Full Tilt and Serpents already. They've got to be feeling really confident going into the mid-season, because there is actually 3 playoff spots, and there are 4 teams I feel that can potentially take it. So to have such a good start by them, it's going to be pretty big, especially when teams like Full Tilt are going to be under pressure.
Alright, well, it seems the glorified mix is over. They just don't want to come in for interviews at all. So I'm just going to call it a day, Hildreth. Just stop the presses, print it, press it, and send it out to the masses. So if you've just joined us, you've unfortunately missed our coverage of Reason versus Serpents. This has been the ETF2L Season 22, powered by Saloon.tf. Our maps were Snake and Gully Wash. But don't worry, if you've just caught us on the tail end, we will be uploading these over onto our YouTube channel. You just can find us over at Team Fortress TV. Speaking of at Team Fortress TV, we've also got a Twitter account. If you've got anything to say about this recent match you've said, maybe even hype up that little Cadus jump that we've seen on Gully Wash. Just tell us how much you're going to abuse it in your local lobbies or whatever. We want to hear what you have to say. So again, that's at Team Fortress TV on Twitter. And if you're still thirsting for more Team Fortress, and John is not in here, is he? I've just realised.
No, he isn't.
He's just gone, hasn't he? Oh, wait. Oh no, I think
we're still live.
Oh, we're still live. Well, embarrassing. But yeah, if you're still thirsting for Team Fortress TV content, find us over at www.teamfortress.tv. Actually, teamfortress.tv, excuse me. Well, if that's everything, Hildreth, any shout-outs?
No, you've got to get over to the main channel, because there's something brewing in the air. Shout out to Mookie, shout out to Polk.
Alright, thanks for joining us. Tune in next time.